Hi, I'm Luke, and welcome to the first ever episode of Philosopherteens. I'm here with my two faithful comrades, Ben and Nelson. What we will do in each episode is we will pick a topic and debate it amongst each other. First, we will start by giving everybody 60 seconds of the floor, starting with Ben, then Nelson, then myself. Then after that, we will commence what I call the group discussion, where we tell each other why they're wrong. Now, let's start the debate. This week's question is homework beneficial? This week we will be working with a dictionary definition of homework given to us by Webster's Dictionary. The definition we will be working with is work that a student is given to do at home and research or reading done in order to prepare for something. Now that we've defined the term, let's start with 60 seconds on the floor. We will start with Ben. 60 seconds on the clock. Ready? Go.
So, homework is assigned by teachers, and I would say that it is assigned for the reasons of enforcing the material that they've already learned in the class that day. So, they teach it in the class of the day, and then they go home, and they usually think that they've understood it just by listening to the teacher. So, assigning the homework, it helps them understand what parts they do understand and what parts they don't understand.
30 seconds.
So then they come back the next day, and they can ask their teacher about the stuff that they didn't understand, and the stuff that they did understand, they can just keep that locked away in their mind forever.
60 seconds on the clock. Ready? Go.
Homework I find to be a very interesting topic, which is also controversial in most classrooms. The reason why it's controversial is because some children, such as me, find it to be not very useful. Because, take for example, in math class, we do example problems in class, and these example problems, if they are explained properly, help us understand what we're doing, and therefore we can take a test on it without having to do the homework.
30 seconds.
Now, the other stance which other children make is that homework can be helpful because, which I agree in some circumstances, that if the teacher does not explain the problems correctly or well enough, it can be somewhat confusing, so therefore you will not be able to take the test correctly.
60 seconds on the clock. Set. Go.
Well, Ben's took a affirmative stance on homework, and Nelson didn't seem to take any stance at all. He just kind of stood there and talked to the camera. So the stance I'm taking is actually a neutral stance, and here's why. I'm arguing that homework's beneficiality, if that is a word, depends on the student. If the student has good parents that will help them with their homework if they struggle and that will make sure the homework gets done, then the homework will obviously be beneficial to the student. But in a public school scenario, you have lots of underprivileged children with parents that won't help them with their homework, in which case it just becomes useless and just something that they don't get done and get in trouble for not doing, and it's just a big mess. So again, homework is beneficial obviously if you have good parents and if it's a good student. And it also not only really depends on the parents, but it does depend on the student. If the student is willing to learn, willing to do their homework, willing to study, willing to get good grades, then they'll do their homework, they'll make sure it's done well, and it'll be beneficial to them. But if the student doesn't care, or if they just struggle with school, whatever, then it's not beneficial at all. Now that we've each presented our 60 seconds worth of arguments, it's time for group discussion. Or in other words, why you are wrong. Nelson, would you like to kick us off?
Sure thing, Luke. First things first. Homework can be both beneficial.
Wrong!
Can be both beneficial in the classrooms and both non-beneficial in the classrooms.
I'm extremely confused for this reason. You haven't even taken a stance. At least I claimed a neutral stance. You just got up there and said it's good, it's bad, whatever, and then sat down. Are you neutral stance, positive stance, negative stance, or what are you?
The reason why I do not take a stance, Sir Lucas, is because I have no idea what I am talking about in the homework
Then shut
classroom.
up, Ben.
I have stated what I have stated, and so therefore I have stated that it is beneficial.
It is beneficial. So,
Wrong!
I agree that it's also beneficial, But I kind of agree with both of you. I like your neutral, sort of whatever, not really anything stance. But your only positive stance, you gotta take a look and see that there are negative aspects to homework. I mean, you gotta...
Wrong!
Right?
No.
Shut up.
No, there are no negative aspects.
There are no negative aspects
I
to
would say
homework.
there are not.
What if the kid is stupid, doesn't know how to do it, is feels bad because of it, goes home, and just is devastated because of their homework?
Well, you know, I can see if a kid does not understand his homework, it's just another thing for him to do, but also get punished for it since he cannot do it, which therefore in turn can cause possibly depression since these kids are getting punished.
So
for
here's
something
another
that they
aspect we
cannot
can bring into
control.
this. Homework on Wednesday nights. Christians go to church on Wednesday nights, right?
Yes. This
Would
is
you
true.
not consider homework on Wednesday nights religious prejudice? I wouldn't. I'm just throwing it in there.
Really, Luke?
So I think we've determined that there are good and there are bad. I mean, you're outweighed 2-1 on that, man. Come on.
Yes, this is true.
So our final
half.
concluded, what?
He's half.
He's half?
Yes.
Why, yeah, he's half. So 1.5 versus 1 is still more than 1, which means homework can be good and bad and is beneficial in both situations. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. I don't know where our Twitter is yet. I haven't made it, but it'll be in the description. Subscribe, like that, shatter that like button. I don't really care. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. From Ben. That's Ben. No, that's Ben. That's Nelson. We'll see you next time. Bye.